good times, see it through the bad times, whatever.
All over the world, we had the highest prices for drugs because we had politicians that wouldn't. I did it at the beginning, at the first, but then we had a thing called, you know what happened, COVID? And it was sort of hard to go after France and Italy, say, listen, on top of all your COVID all over the place with everyone dying, we want you to pay a lot of money for drugs. You can't do it. But we did it, and nobody's ever even thought of doing it before. I've negotiated and really did it directly with 17 of the world's largest drug companies, as well as foreign nations that were taking advantage of your country for decades, many decades. For years, Americans have been paying the highest drug prices anywhere in the world by far, 10 times more sometimes, 15 times more, while other countries pay drastically less for the exact same drug made in the exact same plant, in the exact same country. But under my most favored nation, you know what that means? It's a legal term. Drug pricing executive order. I just signed a couple of months ago, and it's now being implemented. We have declared that the United States will now pay the same price as the lowest price of any country anywhere in the world. And we should honestly, this is the biggest thing to happen in medicine, I think, since the founding of our country. You know, I don't mind. Go ahead. They actually have a great location. You know, we've had people that look so good behind me that some of them went to Hollywood and actually did very well. You know? See, they may have a better location, but nobody's going to Hollywood. They can only see the back of your head. Look at all the television. Look at all those cameras. It's crazy. But we did something nobody's ever done before. Nobody's tried. Nobody thought they could do it. Don't forget the drug companies turned out to really do the right thing. They really did. And they were there at the White House today. You saw some of the biggest companies in the world were there. The rest of them are coming next week. But the big problem was foreign countries. They would have to take their drug and raise it from $10 to $20 to $30, maybe to $100, maybe 10 times more. But it really doesn't work that way because the world is a bigger place than the U.S. And so you're not going to have to raise it that much, but you have to raise it. And they always said for 50 years, they say, let the United States pay. And for 50 years, the United States got screwed because we're paying so much more. Drug that was selling for $10 in London sells for $130. That's 13 times more in New York. 13 times more. So $10 in London, $130 in New York. And now that drug will go up for the other country from $10 to only $20 or maybe $30. And it will come down from the United States of America to $20 from $130. Think of that. Think of that. That's the biggest price reduction. When you talk about cutting prices, cutting costs, and cutting prices, you talk about affordability. You know, the Democrats, they're the ones that got us into the mess. They're the ones that caused the high prices. And then they come out and they look at those fake news people back there. They go, this election's about affordability. They go, let's talk about it. No, I'd rather not talk about it because they can't. They're the ones that caused the highest inflation in the history of our country, which led to the highest prices in the history of our country. I inherited the mess. I got the prices down, and they're going down still further. Look at gasoline. A lot of areas now in our country, $1.99 a gallon. It cost these ladies from these beautiful friends of mine from North Carolina, it cost them like 1/3 to get here than it would have cost under Sleepy Joe Biden. Right? If you drive, this time you can drive. First time you didn't have to take an airplane. But we had 9 blockbuster agreements. We had 9 of them with the big drug companies just today. The rest are coming over the next couple of weeks. But the first dramatic drug discounts will be available to all Americans starting in January at a thing called TrumpRx.gov. TrumpRx.gov. But this is the biggest thing ever to happen on drug prices, pharmaceutical prices. It will.
Trump is bringing down prices for pharmaceuticals. He is over here bringing down the prices for gas here in America, slashing it down to $1.99, which is absolutely incredible. I cannot wait till that price actually starts to resonate all over America. You know, we are in a space where this is a unique tipping point for America. We are at that point where we're taking no prisoners now. We are taking no prisoners now. We are in a battle for it all fight here in America. There's no other way to view that. There's no other way to view that. Blacks in America are vastly outnumbered. Vastly outnumbered. We are probably about 100 million. We're probably outnumbered by 100 million migrants. 112 million, 110 million migrants, right? There's 180 million migrants here in America as we speak. And we all know that these migrants are anti-Black. We understand that. These migrants are not coming over here to forge an alliance with Black America. These Africans who are totally upset with us here in America are looking to replace the Black American, looking to do anything they can to harm the Black American when the Black American actually fought for them over there in Africa. We were boots to the ground and went over there, advocated to our government and forged, negotiate deals and negotiations to get you people out of the situation that you have been in for a very long time. That has been my uncles and cousins that did that. We're sick of this. We're sick of all of these people coming in here attempting to impose their will on us like we soft like that. Like we give it up.
Also tremendously retarded. It's going to reduce the cost of healthcare because healthcare is, it's like from where it is. That's going to have a huge impact on the. I work all the time, so I'll either meet in Florida or I'll meet in Washington the first. You should not be allowed to be. I let them win. I say, I'm sorry, apologize. I like that hat, 47. It's nice, actually. Beautiful, nice thread, gold thread. I watched that myself. I want gold thread, not mustard colored, you know? No, they give you, a lot of times they sell you mustard color. It costs them a lot less. We don't accept those hats. When you have a mustard colored thread, don't accept it. But it caused the prices to be higher than ever before, making it really life unaffordable for millions and millions of Americans. Our border was open and our country was being invaded by an army of 25 million people. Many came from prisons and jails, mental institutions, and insane asylums. You know the difference between a prison and a jail? A prison's more severe, right? You know the difference between a mental institution and an insane asylum? An insane asylum is more severe. They came from both. They were drug dealers, gang members, and over 13,000 murderers, more than 50% of whom killed more than one person. Think of that. They killed more than one. A lot of them said, oh, I didn't mean, but you know, when you kill more than one, get them the hell out of our country. How How about that incident with that horrible monster that killed the young, beautiful girl from Ukraine, that animal? And to think we'll have been trials for years, and you'll get some nice liberal lawyer, and they'll say, "Oh well, he had a bad day. Yeah, he had a bad day. He slit her throat." We had men playing in women's sports, transgender for everybody, crime at record levels, the worst trade deals ever made. And our country was laughed at from all over the world, but they're not laughing anymore. 1 year ago, our country was dead.
Right.
Now we are the hottest country anywhere in the world because we finally have a president who puts America first.
Mm-hmm. I would agree with that. I would agree with that. For all of the naysayers out there who attempt to come after Trump, Trump has been, I want to say, the most Americanized president that I have studied. You know, I don't think it gets more American than Donald Trump right now, bro. When it comes to the presidency, Donald Trump is in the league all by himself. He's in the league all by himself.
The last administration and their allies in Congress looted our treasury for trillions of dollars, driving up prices on everything at unprecedented levels. How about the new thing in Minnesota with the Somalians? They stole, now it came out, the great U.S. attorney up there. They came out, think of this, $9 billion, and they think that's just the beginning. They stole, think of it, in their country, they live on nothing, they have nothing. They come here and they steal $9 billion. Are we stupid? I mean, how do we allow that to happen? Ilhan Omar should be sent out of our country. She should not be allowed to be a congresswoman. She married her brother either to stay or to get him into the country. And yesterday she, I guess, made up a story. She said the police attacked her son. They stopped the car and the police said, we never attacked him. We never stopped. It was a made-up story. She's a con person. She's full of con. She says, zero. She said, you ought to get her the hell out of our country. That's what you ought to do. She made up a story that the police stopped her son's car and they harassed the hell out of him. It turned out to be a fake story. There was no stoppage of his car. There was no.
And this is what we're going through. So I concur with the president. The president said, get her the hell out of our country. Get all of them the hell out of our country. They all must go. If there's paperwork saying that they can stay, no, we're saying, no, rip it up. They got to go. You can call that what you want to call that. Laws are made for the citizens here in America. We are not obligated to take care of any of these illegal aliens. We are not obligated to speak nice to them and take them in to our quarters and feed them. We're not, no, it's too many people out here struggling. It's too much. No, prices are sky high on almost everything. It ain't almost. Prices are high on everything. It went up tremendously because of you immigrants, because of you Muslims, because of these cartels that's in here, the Asian mafia. We see the play. We see what's going on. We're not going to stand for this. We're not. We ain't standing for it. You're not standing for it, man. This is tired of all that.
No harassment. But think of that in Minnesota, this beautiful place, once beautiful. I don't call it beautiful. You got a governor who's a stupid person and a corrupt. He's corrupt and stupid.
See?
But he allowed this to go on. He allowed this to go on. Everybody knew what was going on. But what nobody knew is over $9 billion. And the people of Minnesota are not happy. And you know who's running for governor? Mike Lindell. Do we like Mike Lindell? That man suffered. That man suffered. What he did, what he went through because he knew the election was rigged. And he did it. He didn't, I mean, he just did it as a citizen. Mike Lindell, I'll tell you what, every time I introduced him, he got the biggest hand. I hope he does great. He deserves to do great. That man suffered. These people went after him. They went after his company. They did that with me too, but at least I knew what I was getting into. He was just a guy that said, geez, this election was so crooked. It was so rigged. He fought like hell. That guy deserves to be governor of Minnesota. I'll tell you right now. He's a great guy, too.
I love it.
But I'm bringing the prices down, and I'm bringing them down fast. You know that? As I saw the other day, and as I showed to people the other day, I made a speech. It was very well received. You know, we had one problem. I put up these gorgeous charts, and it says chart. And I'm, sort of talking about the chart. You're reading into a piece of glass. I got no audience. I got just people, very hostile people waiting around. And I'm reading into a piece of glass for 22 minutes. And I talk about the chart. The networks didn't put up the charts. Only Fox put up the charts. Fox put them up, in all fairness. When we get angry at Fox, we have to remember that they put up the charts. So you could start putting them up now if you want. But we put up these beautiful charts that were very... Look at that.
It's crazy. It's just crazy. It's just madness. The president of the United States cannot even get his messaging out in his own country that we voted for this man. We voted for this man to be in office. And here it is. You have CNN, MSNBC, and all of these left-wing media outlets, as well as right-wing. None of them are playing Donald Trump and putting Trump out. This is treason. This is treason. You can't do anything like this, even remotely close in another country. You can't do that. This is treason, man. And all of you Democrats that are black and getting in the bed with these Democrats, you are a treasonous traitor from hell. But you know what? And a lot of you don't understand yet on what's going on. So I can't condemn all of you, because a lot of you really still don't understand yet. You're still looking at legacy media. You're looking at what they're saying. You never really took alternative media to be anything substantial to you. You never gave alternative media a chance. You never fact checked. So, your alternative media, and you do not fact check the legacy media you look at. So it's like, but we're going to keep on believing in God, and we're going to keep on pushing these messages out. So hopefully more of my people will start to understand which side they need to be standing on here. Must understand what's going on, man. What a wonderful, wonderful time to be alive. What a wonderful point in history right now that we're at right now. I love you all. except for the ones that don't. I'm on up out of here. Like and subscribe. Peace.